Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be start doing some of the mock drafts. I think I want to do this once every other week or something like that. I think it'd just be good to start getting these on file and see how crazy, the first one is compared to the last one. And now that we finished 1 week in the NFL, I think it's pretty good to start going after that. We'll start here with a good question. I think this is going to be a very important question throughout the season, with the idea of the Cardinals potentially being at the top of the draft. Do you believe in Kyler Murray long term? Now, I know they paid him. I don't know the exact contract numbers. I actually might pull that up right now. He's under contract until 2027, and now he's got an out in 2028 with no dead cap. But if they bottom out after this season to get a new quarterback, that's $81 million in dead cap. I think what they might do is either trade for picks for the next quarterback class, just kind of like get a ton so they can get number one, or they draft the quarterback and stash him for a year, do the Chiefs route, and then you can cut him for 33 million after that, or find a team that needs him. But it's a big question. In this theory, though, I think Caleb Williams is too good to pass up here. So we're going to start this draft off. We're going to take Caleb Williams. Pick two, I think it's a few guys you can go for. Obviously, you can go crazy with the offense and go Marvin Harrison super high. I don't know about that. I'd lean defense, but I think Olu Fashanu is a good call here. You can have him and Paris Johnson as your two tackles going forward. That's very good. I think that in that theory, they'd probably trade down. Looking at this court next here, Tampa Bay, they need a quarterback. I think it's a no-brainer. Drake May. Not much to explain there. Drake May, really like what he's doing over at UNC, and I think he's going to be playing for a very long time in the league. Then we got the Rams. Now, the Rams are a very interesting spot. I think they wouldn't mind some defensive help, but I think it's like, okay, how much do you believe in Stetson? That's a very important question you're going to have to address. And how much do you believe in Matthew Stafford's longevity? Can you go another few years? Or would you look at the quarterbacks? Could you potentially take, a Shador, a JJ, something crazy like that? I think they just lean on going best available. I think getting a guy like Marvin Harrison would be incredible. But I think it's going to be obviously a very important question for the Rams because in this theory here, they're the fourth team here on the clock. But they could go edge with Jared Verse to get that defense going. Could go Kool-Aid, Joe Alt to help fix that offensive line. And in this scenario here, we're going to go Jared Verse to help out that defensive front. Colts just played today for the first time. I'm recording this probably a little bit out of order, but we just saw how the Colts play today. Marvin Harrison, not Marvin Harrison. I'm thinking of his dad. I'm looking at it right here. They need some receiver help, and Marvin Harrison's the easy answer here. So just kind of thinking ahead there. Colts, obviously just took Marvin Harrison. Now we're on the Washington Commanders, right? Quarterback is an interesting one here. Is Sam Howell the guy? He played all right today. I think he could potentially be investing in a quarterback going forward. I don't know, how forward that would be, but I think it's something different to look at. I know, could it be a Shador Sanders? Could it be a JJ McCarthy? Who knows? I would guess that they're probably going to go offense or, offensive line here. I think Joe Alt is a no-brainer. Guys, big, help out the front there, help out the enemy's new offense, and continue going forward like that. Atlanta needs some secondary help. Kool-Aid. No thoughts here. The run game's awesome. I would maybe think about quarterback, but I don't know. You don't even need that good of a quarterback in that system, but it is what it is. Green Bay Packers on the clock. Once again, they need some corner help. Kalen King, Detroit native, going in the top 10. Don't overthink it. Just go. He's a great corner from Penn State, super lockdown, and is going to definitely help out that team, which they need desperately some help there. Tennessee, kind of want to go quarterback again. I know they've done it in the last few drafts, but I don't know. That stuff's stinky. But getting some help them. I think if you get a guy like Brock Bowers, it'll help out the mid-range game and that run game as well. He can be an extra blocker. He's a total Swiss Army knife on the offense, and I think it's going to be unbelievable for him out there. Looking at the Bears, they played today. If you watch that game, that pick right there makes a lot of sense. They need a lot of offensive line help. That offensive line was so bad. I think that they could potentially go 2 offensive line picks here, not to tip picks, but that's just what I'm thinking. Now, this is the sexy pick. There's 2 guys I'm really between here. Honestly, 3. It's JJ, it's Michael Penix. Sorry, it's JJ, it's Shador, and it's Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers obviously had a great game the other day. I'm going to give him the nod for now because he had the better game. Now looking at Chicago, the interior offensive line, it'd be a bit of a reach this high in the draft, but there's a guy that's really good, and it's Cooper Beebe. I don't know where he is on here and why he's so low, but he's definitely one of the best interior linemen. I'm going to look and see if he's on this other list here that I was looking at. Yeah, he's high on this one, but I don't know if these guys are this low. I don't know if that maybe they can get him later in the draft, then I guess. So we'll look back at other needs the Chicago Bears and quickly thinking, I mean, obviously they need some defensive help too, because that defense is god awful. And I think if you have a guy that's been rumored to be, as good as his predecessor in Will Anderson, I think you take Dallas Turner, go two Alabama boys. It's probably a pretty good hit rate there. Now we go to um, the Broncos country. Let's ride. Speaking of that, I can look at his contract as well. If I can do this real quick, we can just check Russell Wilson because obviously he had a pretty bad season last year. And it didn't look the greatest today, to be completely honest with you. So let's just double check Russell Wilson here. Oh yeah, his baseball contract would be pretty funny to see as well. Still a crazy contract. It'd be tough to take a quarterback here. I really want to though, but I think they're going to have to stand pat here and continue on going here. So we're going to go back here, and I think that they could definitely use some additional help up front. Just checking to see. Yeah, his contract is so bad, man. So bad. Otherwise, I would take a quarterback here, but we'll go with Jazarian Newton, get some front help up front. Good a good run defense, everything like that. You watched the other day, Illinois played Kansas, and he was the only good player on defensive line. They would say, "Oh, it's a good defensive line for the Illini." No, 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 defensive line man, one guy. That's him. Um, Patriots here. It could be quarterback, guys. I don't want to do that, but it really could be quarterback, and I think it could. There's a relationship out there that makes a lot of sense. Shador Sanders to the Patriots. Dion Belichick, a little bit of relationship, a lot of respect in the media. They've been helping with each other out a little bit with coaching. Shador helps him out. The Belichick of the Patriots. I think it'd be a great fit, and it'd be really cool to see him in that Bill O'Brien offense, kind of going crazy. Up next, the Steelers. Hey, they could go corner. They could additionally go with a different option here, and then go quarterback. But I think the what to do here is you go Malik Neighbors here and get him another option here, catching the ball. I know Deontay Johnson went down with a hamstring injury. You got a good young receiver core going on. Got to keep it going with that. Reload with Pittsburgh here. Minnesota, this is where we'll take a quarterback. It's JJ McCarthy. I know I'm a little biased. I'm a Michigan fan, but he's young. He's athletic. He checks every box in terms of trait. And I could see him going much higher than this, but I'm trying not to be super biased. I'm going to put him right there. Houston. Do they not have this pick? What's this pick? Oh, this is from the Browns. Okay, I was gonna say, don't they not have a pick? Yeah, so Houston, I think there's a few guys here. I think the one guy in particular, he's not the greatest in college. JT Tuimalu, he's got a lot of traits, and you put him with Will Anderson, you've got two freakish athletes out coming off the edge. What's the coach's name? He's a D coordinator from the 49ers. I don't know why his name's not coming to me. But he's great with those schemes. Getting him a freak athlete like JTT is going to help him out for sure. Chargers here. I don't even know because they played pretty well, but they need some defense. I think Leonard Taylor is a good pick. Just shore up the middle and help slow everything down up front. I think that's a good pick for them. Get him in front. Similar here, we're going to stay at the exact same position. We're going to go Mason Smith. Just clog up that middle and help out all the options there and continue going forward. Now we're on for a receiver here. I have a different receiver board than a lot of these guys. I think Keon Coleman goes pretty high here. We have him going to the Giants. I think it's a good thing for them to do there. They definitely need some help with the passing. You think of Giants, think of a really good receiver in the Giants right now. Exactly. You can't really think of one. So I think Keon would come in and be a big jump ball threat difference to a lot of the slot guys. They signed a lot of smaller slot guys, give him one big target, him and Waller on opposite sides in the red zone. Oh man, or even stack them up. That's gonna be really tough to guard. I want to go receiver here with the Lions, but I think that they've kind of found smaller receivers in the later rounds. So I would want to go maybe one of the Washington boys, but I'm going to lean here and we're going to help our good friend out, Aiden Hutchinson. We're going to get him Chop Robinson on the opposite side of opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, all Big Ten edges. Man, that'd be an unbelievable duo. It'd be tough trying to double any one of those guys. I think it's a great pick there. Up next, we're going to take Amarius Mims, big offensive tackle from Georgia, help shore up that line for the ever needing offensive line help Miami Dolphins. I was leaning corner there a bit, or even a safety, but we're going to continue on with them right there. Speaking of safety and defensive help, we're going to go Kamar and Kinchens, excuse me, the safety out of the U. Shout out the U, huge win just recently against Texas A&M. The Jets are now on the clock. I mean, I would go offensive line help here, but they got so many old guys. I think that you're going to have to go with a receiver to help replace them. And I'm not a big Ibuka guy. I'm way more of a Rome Odunze guy. So I'm going to take him to help shore up that there. Up next, we've got the Seahawks. I think they could use some defensive help. He's listed as a linebacker, Latu, but he's an edge. So he's going to definitely help pass rush there. Because that's, again, a position that they could use a lot of help with there. Some defensive line up front here. I'm going to go Chris Jenkins. I think that he's going to be a little bit higher picked than Michael Hall. I might just be a little bit of bias in me. But I think it'd be a very solid addition to the team there. Dallas doesn't need a ton. And I think this is when we start to get our first running backs off the board. We really see a lot of two running back sets clearly from these guys because we can think of them as the team that had two running backs for a long time. And I think they can kind of get a clone of Tony Pollard a little bit and Donovan Edwards, a pass catching back out of the backfield. I think it's absolutely what they need. Kind of the exact opposite. They need a guy to run between the tackles in Buffalo. And I think when you look at some of these guys that are the most able to do that, there's a few guys that come to mind. I think Braylon Allen's something you can look at. And it's weird with these running backs because obviously Blake Corum's the best short yardage back I've ever seen in the last few years, right? In terms of ever seen being this draft, right? And it's like, okay, why don't you take him? He has so much mileage on already. I hate to say it, he's a Michigan man. I'd love to put him there, but Braylon Allen's going to have a light workload this year. Will Shipley's another good one because he catches balls out of the backfield. I could definitely see it there, but I'm going to go Braylon Allen here. I think it's a good pick for him. I mean, Raheem Sanders is just behind him, but I think in terms of guys that are going to be able to pick up extra yardage and fall forward and get a first down when needed, you get a guy like Braylon Allen back there, and that's exactly what you're going to need. Up next for the 49ers, some secondary help wouldn't be terrible. So we're going to go with Cooper DeJean. I don't even know the correct way to pronounce it, but that's what we're going with him there. He's a very good guy. You want to definitely make sure we know what's going on with him. He's a corner from Iowa, can play corner and safety. So that's why I even just said corner. A little slip there for the mind. Up next, we got the Bengals. You can see here they need a lot of help all over. And I think you take the better pass rushing linebacker in Jeremiah Trotter from Clemson. He's an absolute force, freak of nature, runs downhill all over the place. And we followed quickly behind by his teammate here, thinking Barrett Carter. But I think if you go Braylon Trice here, you get another edge off, another freakish edge coming in. That could definitely help them out big time. And that's what we're going to do with them there. And then finally for the Kansas City Chiefs, you could sneaky go backup quarterback in the first round and get 5 years out of him. I know that's crazy for me to say, but I could see him going running back as well because we saw the other day in the Lions game, they really needed help up front. And I think if you go Will Shipley at the end of the first round, it might be crazy with 3 running backs, but his ability to catch passes out of the backfield is really good. And he can run if needed to. I think he's a good, Jedrick McKinnon clone. So I think that they're going to go with him there. And that is what we have with the draft. Here we'll slowly go down here and you can just see this draft. See where your team is if you want to skip to the end. Unfortunately, I would hate it if you did that, but you can stick around and listen to all my logic here. But this is what we got going on. I'm going to maybe try to tweet this out soon if I remember to copy the link. If not, we'll just put it somewhere else. But yeah, that is what my draft is looking like right now. I know this order is last year's order. We've had some games since then, but hey, it is what it is. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.